Hi, I'm Sam, your inner voice and self-trust coach for women who refuse to choose between career success and being fully present with their kids. This is Journal Entries, where we break free from self-sabotage, reconnect with our inner wisdom, and live truly fulfilled lives in both of our roles. Let's dive in. Hello, welcome to today's journaling session. I have a full-blown summer cold right now. It started off with that sore throat, scratchy throat, and then the cough. And right now I woke up with just full-blown congestion. I normally don't air the Thursday episodes on YouTube, but if you saw me, I just feel like my whole face is a little puffy. My eyes look small, the whole shebang. So bear with me today, but I'm excited for this topic because I talk a lot about feeling fulfilled in your career and as a mom without neglecting one or the other. However, a big focus the past few months on my podcast episodes has been on the motherhood side, like setting boundaries at home with yourself, with your kids, things like stop people pleasing with your kids or stop trying to disappoint others at the expense of yourself, things like that. And today, I want to highlight the idea that so often we actually love what we do. And yes, sometimes it causes us stress, but when it comes down to it, we love the impact that we make. We thrive off of that feeling. We love the independence that we feel when we are at work, when we're not in that mom role. And we love our agency beyond motherhood. Yet it's so easy to feel guilt for loving what we do. Almost like we should want to be home with our kids more, or we should want to send our kids to daycare later if we have the luxury to make our own schedule. I remember pulling out of daycare drop-off one morning, almost in tears, thinking, why am I trying to drop my son off at daycare so early when I have the luxury to literally drop him off at any time? But I just love what I do so much that I'm like, I just want to get the day started. I want to pour my heart and soul into something beyond motherhood and morning routine with my kid. Or sometimes we feel like we need to dim down how excited we are about projects that we're working on, or the new hire that has tons of potential, or collaborations that we're strategizing. So today we are journaling through how to love what we do and not feel guilty about it. If you are in a space where your hands are sudsy from dishes, or maybe you're driving, you can always just think through these prompts, or feel free to open up a Google Doc or your lovely journal and you can actually journal through it with me. Prompt number 1, what aspects of your work genuinely light you up? Maybe the tasks, the interactions, the impact that make you think, I was made for this. Prompt number 2, what are you afraid would happen if you fully owned how much you love your career without any guilt or apology or explanation? Prompt number 3. This is deep. What if your guilt about loving work is a way to avoid the discomfort of what other people think or their judgments or their expectations about what a good mom should want or should be doing or what they should be prioritizing. And our final prompt: how might you be using your career guilt as a familiar pattern that keeps you from having to set real boundaries or make harder decisions about what you actually want? My clients tell me all the time that I'm the best at helping them see blind spots. The blind spot that I'm thinking you may have turned your head far enough to see today is that guilt that you feel about loving your career isn't actually that it makes you a bad mom. It's that the guilt is a protective pattern that keeps you from having to fully own your choices and deal with other people's reactions. It's okay to love your job, and it's okay to also love being a mom. It's that in between where we place our expectations and standards and perceived expectations and perceived judgments and all of these things coming at us from other people, and also the way that we were raised. And we never stop to question, do I want to continue these patterns? Do I want to keep living up to this standard? That is the messy middle where so much guilt rises. When you recognize that guilt is just this familiar way to avoid the discomfort of setting real boundaries and making harder decisions about what you actually want, you can finally stop apologizing for who you are, what you do want, and start making those decisions quicker. And it feels so good and so freeing. To get clear on what it is that you want and directions to get there, because I also know that some of you might be sitting there thinking, well, I actually don't know what I want. You're in the mundane autopilot zone and maybe disconnected from what would make you feel alive, what would make you feel fulfilled. So if you do need guidance on that, you can download my free Calm Mind Blueprint. The link is in the show notes. It's a 5-day challenge or framework for busy women who crave peace and fulfillment, but feel too overwhelmed to find it. So you can click that link and get the framework. Start it today. It takes 2 to 5 minutes a day, and you will go from this overwhelmed state to finding so much clarity, and again, get that direction and the steps to actually find it in a way of peacefully pursuing it, not just spinning your wheels and adding more things to your to-do list. I hope that you loved this episode. I hope that you had a chance to think through these prompts or even journal with me, and that you were able to release some of the guilt so that you can fully embrace what you do and go after it with your whole heart. Feel free to send this episode to a fellow career-loving mom. I think that more of us need permission to love what we do. I would love for her to get this message, and not only the message, but I can tell you this all day long. I didn't even have to prompt you through it. I could just tell you this breakthrough. It won't hit the same as you actually journaling through it or thinking through it yourself and having that revelation. So if you know someone, feel free to send it to her. I would so appreciate it. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Thanks for joining me for today's journal entry. If something resonated with you, I'd love to know about it. Screenshot this episode, share it on social media, and tag me at samantha.s.says. Or even leave a review, which will help more women find this podcast to create more fulfillment in their career and as a mom. And hey, if you're thinking, I wish I could get more of this, I've got you covered. Click on the link in the show notes, which I customize each week based on what we're talking about. And I always include the link to the Calm Mind Blueprint, which are my 5 journal prompts to go from overwhelm to inner peace in 2 to 10 minutes a day. Subscribe so that you catch my Thursday 5-minute journal with me episodes and next week's full episode where we will continue this journey together. I'll see you then.